everybody, Tammy here along with Heather Sky. Welcome to my channel. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how do you buy a stock Blythe doll. And I've done some other videos about this, but there are some nuances that I think I probably may not have covered that well, or it's been a while, okay? So let me just introduce her again. Her name is Heather Sky. She's a 2009 release, so she came out, that means she came out in 2009. And she was part of a group of dolls called the Prima Dolly dolls. Prima Dolly. So she's Prima Dolly Heather Sky. That's her full name, okay? And there were quite a few other Prima Dolly dolls that came out at the time. They came in slightly smaller, narrower doll boxes, and they didn't have a lot of stock with them. They had usually like an outfit and shoes. This girl also had like a just a ribbon for her hair, you know, sort of. They were dolls meant to be not as fancy as some of the previous dolls. And supposedly I've heard that the idea was people could use them to customize. And at the time, they were very reasonably priced, comparatively speaking, typically around the $100 range. That's not the case when you find these dolls now, many years later, of course. But at the time, they were a little bit more reasonably priced than the typical releases. They were super cute. I have a number of these. I have Ginger Prima Dolly, who I'm trying to sell right now as I film this. I have Ebony. She also is a Prima Dolly doll. And like I said, they don't have a lot of stuff that comes with them. But they're still super cute. They are still, you know, collectible. But yeah, so that's just one of the numerous things you learn about these dolls as you get into the hobby and study them more. And I would say that's something that is kind of helpful to do when you want to buy your first stock doll, or, you know, you want to get into the hobby a little bit. And I'm going to talk a little bit about non-stock dolls. And that can be quite a controversial topic. Some collectors are strictly, no, don't buy them, no matter what, doesn't matter, blah, 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 okay? But like many collectors, Blythe collectors, that's what I started out with. I saw the Blythe dolls, I really liked them, but I wasn't ready, you know, to buy a real one yet. It was sticker shock, you know, when I first saw how much they cost. And this was back in 2015, mind you. And I even remember I was on a message board and I was trying to learn more about the dolls. And I made some comment about, wow, you know, they're so expensive, you know. Why are they so expensive? I don't understand, you know. And somebody nicely, but kind of, you know, to the point sort of thing, said to me, if you cannot afford the hobby, I wouldn't get into it. That it is not a cheap hobby. It's not for everybody. And if you can't afford it, then you might want to think twice about it. And I took a little offense to that when she said that, but then also you know, that's just the way it is. She was being very matter of fact. And in hindsight, she was right. Okay. Not a cheap hobby, because it's not just the dolls, you know. You've got the dolls, you have the clothes, the shoes, the accessories, you know, the props. I mean, you know, and then it's not just one doll, right? So it just goes on and on and on. So if you're interested in maybe buying a stock doll, after, you know, getting a couple of non-stock ones, like I said, that's what I did. I bought I bought 3 non-stock ones, sold one of them, and then decided I was ready to buy the real thing, and I bought a Country Summer doll. She, at the time, was a little bit less expensive than a lot of the other dolls that I saw, and she just was super cute. I mean, it wasn't just a price thing for me. I really, really liked her, so I bought her. She was my first one. So I kind of feel like the non-stock dolls serve a purpose. They introduce doll collectors, beginning doll collectors possibly, or people who maybe they've been collecting dolls, but they've been more playline type dolls. I think it's a way for people to kind of get introduced to the doll. in a way that's financially comfortable for them. And if you think about it, I mean, if you've been buying, if you're a collector and you've been buying Playline Barbie dolls that are, $10, maybe $25 at the most, and then you go and you look at a Blythe doll, and the non-stock dolls you might be seeing them for, $20 to $50. Even that might be a bit much to you, right? Because Playline is different than collectible dolls. These are collectible dolls. We play with them as collectors. Most of us do stuff with them. We create, I like to create displays. We like to change their clothes. We craft for them. I sew for them, that kind of thing. But all in all, they are collectible dolls as opposed to, a $10 Barbie doll that's really designed for children to play with, right? So I feel like that's one thing the non-stock dolls do. They're sort of a gateway, a gateway doll, right? Also, on a different subject, I think they're useful for people who want to customize dolls, especially if you want to practice and learn how to do it, and you don't want to buy a $200 doll that you will then destroy. Because, let's just put it out there, a lot of people who start customizing, it's not pretty at first. Their first few dolls that they customize don't look so great. And you don't want to spend the money on a doll that you then basically destroy. And also, for those of us who love the doll, you end up taking that doll out of circulation because, you've destroyed that doll. So anyway, so then after you get a few of the non-stock dolls, most people start to realize, wow, I really like this doll. You're really getting into it. I'd like to get the real deal. What's the difference? I want to see what it's like, etc. So then you move on to, stock dolls. So how do you do that? What's the best way to start doing that? I'm going to put a list of places. I'll put links down below for places that I know of where you can purchase stock dolls. The big names, of course, are Junie Moon. And Junie Moon is the company that has the rights. They purchased the copyright from Hasbro, who has the original copyright. And if I'm wrong about anything, you want to correct me, all you know-it-alls down there. I'm not a Blythe expert. I know a lot about the doll, but I hesitate to call myself an expert. Feel free to correct me nicely in the comments, okay? So anyway, Hasbro has the copyright. Junie Moon, the company Junie Moon, pays for that copyright to then produce the dolls. Junie Moon contracts the Good Smile Company to manufacture the dolls, and then Junie Moon sells the dolls through the Junie Moon website. They also have various brick and mortar stores throughout Tokyo that I think they're only in Tokyo. Yeah, I think Junie Moon's only in the city of Tokyo. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. So that's where the dolls could be purchased from. So Junie Moon also allows other companies to distribute the dolls, and those companies are various companies. One is well known as CC Toys. I believe they're out of Hong Kong. I've purchased quite a few dolls from them. So they can sell the real dolls, the stock dolls, okay? And then, like I said, I'll put some other links down below to distributors that I know that sell stock Blythe dolls, okay? Most of them I have purchased from quite a few different companies. So if you want a new in-box doll, those are the places that you're going to buy them from. Now, of course, you can also purchase pre-owned dolls. I've done that quite often. Quite a few of the dolls I have bought from other collectors who, like myself, occasionally thin out their collection, new dolls in, other dolls out, they reevaluate. And a good place to find pre-owned dolls, of course, you can check eBay, but be careful. Sometimes people will sell dolls on eBay for almost the same price you can buy the doll new in box. Okay, so really do your due diligence when you're looking to buy a Blythe doll. There's different prices. It doesn't have just one price. It's not like Mattel where a doll is $15 no matter who's selling the doll. That's not the case. So very often I've seen people who are selling a pre-owned doll on someplace like eBay, and if I go over to CC Toys or Junie Moon, there's the same exact doll for the same price and it's new in box. So, however, you know, I have still purchased through eBay before. Just like I said, you've got to do your due diligence. This is a hobby that you have to kind of shop around. Don't assume that it's the same price everywhere. It is not going to be. So that's one place. I have also had really good luck with purchasing from other collectors through Facebook groups, and there's quite a few. There's Dolly Adoptions. There's 100% Stock Blythe group. My group now, Blythe Doll Buddies, we just started allowing people to post things for sale. We have a buy and sell tab now, so you can post dolls you have for sale over there, and we take all dolls and doll stuff. It doesn't have to be just Blythe. Let's see, there's another one. So there's various groups on Facebook where you can purchase pre-owned dolls, and of course, you know, you always want to make sure that you have, you know, PayPal. Don't do friends and family. You know, check out the people. You know, if you're over there for a while, you get to know people. So, and I'll say, like, I think the first pre-owned doll I ever bought I believe it was Roxy Baby. Where's she at? She's around. Oh, she's right here. Roxy Baby. She's right here. And I actually bought her from a woman I've known for years, who's the first person who actually told me about Blythe dolls. So, you know, I was comfortable with that purchase, and I had a great doll. So I got a really good deal on that doll, and she's gorgeous. So that's the way you can check that out. Now, as far as new dolls, if you want like one of the newer dolls, they come out just about every month now. So I'm going to be starting to do, I've already started, and I'm going to try to continue doing some Blythe news videos over here. So that's a good reason to subscribe if you haven't already. By the way, give this a thumbs up too, please. But I will be telling you guys through videos and also on my community tab whenever I have information about new releases that come out. But typically the way it works is Junie Moon designs the dolls, comes up with the concept, and they'll actually create a rendering, a drawing, a color drawing of what the doll is going to look like. Now, it's a drawing. It's not 100% in stone, but it just gives you an idea. So, for example, when Pineapple Princess first came out, and she is, can you see her? No, she's over there. She's over there in the little blue overalls next to the guy in the chair. So let's see, can I expand this? So when I first saw, it's not letting me expand it, shoot. So when I first saw Pineapple Princess, her rendering, boom, bing, bang, I pre-ordered her. Did not see any photographs, okay? So a lot of times the renderings will come out and they'll be available for pre-order right then, but you don't have any idea exactly what the doll looks like. There's no photographs yet. So that's just a leap of faith that if you see something that, you know, and you're like, oh, I just knew, she spoke to me, I knew I wanted her right away. She was dark-skinned, totally my jam. Loved her stock. She had actually multiple outfits, you know. I was very happy with her, and it worked out well for me. The actual doll, when I saw the photographs, I was like, okay, fine, that's good. Now, that's, you know, things can change, so you always have to be aware of that. So the renderings come out, the doll's up for pre-order, and then after a while, the photographs usually come out, but they come out, you know, you never know when, okay? So Junie Moon has a newsletter that you can sign up for, and they'll send you announcements when the pictures come out. You can also just check social media like Instagram. Again, Facebook will have, the Facebook groups will post the pictures. And that's when you finally get to see what the doll looks like. And typically when the renderings come out, you also get some information as far as skin tone. There'll be a list of like what I call stats. What is the faceplate? What type of faceplate is it? There's different. The faceplates are all different. I know when you first start, you're like, oh, they all look exactly the same to me. But believe it or not, there are some minor differences with the different faceplates, okay? And there's different names for them. For example, one of the older ones, EBL faceplates, their mouths tend to be kind of straight. They're like, I can always tell an EBL. EBLs and SBLs, there's these acronyms for them. And if you want the details, I would say, you know, Google Blythe doll faceplates, and you can find out the acronyms, and you'll see different pictures. That's like a whole nother video. But after a while, you kind of get a feel for the faceplates. I could not pick them all out, but those two, EBL and SBLs, I can usually pick out pretty quickly. So it'll tell you what faceplate it is. That's the front. That's the front of it, because there's three. There's the faceplate, the back plate, and then the scalp. And there's a couple of pieces in here, but it actually, you know, comes off. So that's why they have screws in the back, so you could take the doll's head apart, because inside, of course, is a, you know, eye mechanism that has 4 different eye chips in it that you can change your eyes. So that's, like, you know, hopefully you know that if you're wanting to collect Blythe dolls. Hopefully this is not, you know, groundbreaking news to you. So anyway, so the pre-orders come out, and then, you know, that's when you want to order the doll. If you want the doll, I always recommend, if you really are positive you want the doll, I recommend you buy the doll as soon as possible. Okay? And that would be pre-orders. Later, you can still purchase the doll, typically on a new release. However, the prices start going up. And I know this is not happy. This is not happy news. This is not something especially newbies want to hear, but that's kind of the way it is. The price for the doll is 99.9% of the time going to be the least expensive when she first comes out. After the doll's out for a while, the price creeps up. Okay, so if you want her, you got to get her. Now, some people could say, well, you know, just wait, but and there's no way to know. Like, you don't know how much the price is going to go up. It might not go up very much at all, you know. And sometimes I've even gotten lucky with, she's not here now, she's in my curio, but for example, I saw Pleasant Surprise, who she's been in a couple of videos lately. When she first came out in December 23, I really, really wanted her. I held off, didn't get her. I told myself I didn't need her. Well, then I lucked out, and she was on Good Smile Company for 20% off, and I got a great price on her. New in box from the company. Excellent deal. That's really rare. They've had a few other dolls on sale there. Now their shipping is messed up, so I wouldn't really recommend buying anything. At least I don't plan to buy anything from them anymore. I'll keep an eye on them, but I don't think they're going to be a good distributor for me anymore. But yeah, I'm looking down at my notes. So if you want a doll, you get her early. Otherwise, the price goes up. Why does that happen? Well, because there's fewer dolls out there. It's, you know, there's fewer dolls, so the demand is higher than what is out there to buy. Okay, and you know, it is what it is. It can be very frustrating. It frustrates me, because it's like, you know, people, that doll was this much just a few months ago. Now all of a sudden it's this much. You know, that kind of bums me out. But that's, you know, that's kind of the way it is. On the same note, though, I would say, you know, kind of be careful. I have fallen into the hole where I think, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy that doll. If I don't like her, I'll just resell her. It doesn't always work that way. Okay, sometimes you want to resell a doll, and nobody wants to buy the doll. Yeah, so don't buy a doll just because you're worried the price is going to go up and thinking you're going to resell her. You might be able to resell her, or you might have a problem reselling her. I mean, I would say for me, I've been trying to sell some dolls lately, and you know, eventually stuff does seem to sell, but boy, I've had to sit on it for a while, you know, and some of them are in-demand dolls. Like, as I film this right now, I have Anna Sui from my collection for sale at a price that I think is extremely reasonable. I have her on eBay. I've had a couple people ask me about her, but otherwise, you know, I mean, she's not been on there a long time, but I was surprised. She is a very popular doll, very hard to get, new in box. She's going for a ridiculous amount of money. So I thought, oh, well, you know, my doll's in great shape. I was ready to let her go. I don't play with her very much because she's such a valuable doll. I'm kind of afraid to touch her. You know, she just isn't doing it for me anymore. Let's put it that way. And so yeah, I was ready to let her go, but you know, so don't think like I'm going to buy this doll and I'll just sell her later if I decide I don't want her. Just be careful of that. But at the same time, if you see a doll, a new release, that's when it's going to be at the best price. So yeah, kind of have to make your own judgments there. Yes, I hope that answers some questions for some of the newbies out there. During a recent virtual Blythe retreat, we had quite a few people who are new to the hobby, and most of them have non-stock dolls with maybe a very small collection of the stock dolls. Some people hadn't bought any stock dolls before, but they really wanted to. And like I said, I know the non-stock dolls, to me, I think they're a gateway doll. Okay, so it's where you start. You know, it's where you start in the hobby for a lot of people, and then you make your way to the real deal. And as somebody who loves the doll and has lots of stock dolls now, and I've actually probably shrunk my non-stock dolls over the years, comparatively speaking, I think it's something that, you know, you have to educate yourself about the doll to be comfortable with purchasing the stock dolls over the non-stock dolls, and I completely understand that. So I hope you did find this video helpful, all that to say. And as usual, please give this a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video, and I hope you have a wonderful Dolly Day. Bye-bye.